On set today, I have Comrade Benjamin Amioku. We are still discussing burning issues, concerning Nigeria as a country in the light of 2023. Now, Comrade Amioku, if you were the president, there's this saying that talk is cheap, and Nigerians will like talking so much, and we just talk, 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 and no action. Now let me ask you. And some also say that sometimes if you are not in the pitch playing the football, you may not actually understand, the technicality or the heat the footballers are actually going through on the pitch. That it's easier to be a spectator than to, and you say a whole lot of things. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
coming to you now in this segment of one-on-one with Marcus Ikure, specially tagged. If you were the president, what will you do? I put it to you. What will you do differently if you were the president of Nigeria?
Um, Good and fine. We already have well set development plans that will have transformed this country, but the individuals still make a difference.
Okay.
But if I were to be the president of this country, sure, I would do one thing. I'll pursue an aggressive social development plan.
Okay.
Very aggressive social development plan that will target human development from education to healthcare and all of that. Beyond that, I will pursue an aggressive economic development plan that will make sure that we deal with the various sectors that need industrialization, particularly, and
Okay.
starting from the agricultural sector. We must be able to marry our natural resources for productivity.
Okay.
It's going to be absolute. So it's a massive economic development plan and an aggressive social development plan. This, of course, will reduce the challenge of insecurity that we are finding ourselves in this country. We have, over the years, invested massively on armed security.
Okay.
But the the armed insecurity we are having in this country is a manifest of our poor social development index. So any person that wants to transform this country must look critically into our social development challenges, from illiteracy to poor health care services. If we address these two things aggressively, it will make a lot of transformation. And another thing, the methodology you adopt, to try to change this narrative matters a lot. There must, one, be self-commitment, the use of technology for proper evaluation, but then the methodology, if you ask me, I will make sure public institutions work effectively, and that will be using technology for evaluation and management.
Comrade Benjamin, like I said initially, for some, they feel talk is cheap.
Yeah,
Using technology,
yeah.
to program a system that works.
Mm.
Now, Nigeria, you quite understand that, so many persons here don't seem to be comfortable with process. You know that. So, and you talked about putting in place a good process. You
Yeah.
know, do you think that will work in the Nigerian context? How do you hope to achieve that? Because if you tend to be too process conscious, that's due process. People don't actually see you as a fanciful leader or somebody to support in the Nigerian context. They don't seem to like Peter Obi, for instance. Now, a whole lot of people will tell you the problem I have with this man is that if he becomes president, he's going to do so much, but there's going to be hunger. That he's not the kind of man who want to cut corners. So how do you really, hope to achieve this
Hunger
your
is,
aggressive plan
you know
with this kind of mindset?
when the interest of the people is what is driving you,
Okay.
you are not concerned about the dissatisfaction of a few individuals.
Okay.
So what we see in Nigeria is a situation where some few individuals feel they own this country, and they want to always predetermine political leadership for self-aggrandizement. So whenever a leader comes on board and is targeting to make sure that the people feel the effect and the benefit of governance, I don't think he has anything to worry about the minority that will feel displaced as a result of these systems or these processes that will definitely bring about transformation.
Okay, what fundamental step will you take as a president, to curb the problem of corruption, which is eating so deep, which has eaten so deep into the fabrics of this country?
It's technology. You see, one of them. See, I'll give you a case study.
Okay.
In the police force, for instance, that is where a lot of corruption is indemnified, or you find a lot of corruption there, from even complaints to act to policing itself in this country is challenged with corruption. We must put in place a technological system that will create visual vigilance. Police to be able to act when there is a challenge or a breach of security, not just putting about stop and search systems on the
How
highway.
do you hope to do that, Mr. President?
Listen to me,
Yeah.
technology will create all of those things. Visual presence will mean that you sight CCTV cameras in and around this country. It's not rocket science to do it.
Okay, okay. Please.
Today I have proficiency in energy solutions.
Okay.
What does it take to provide CCTV cameras powered by solar power
Oh,
energy?
okay, okay. Comrade Amioku, you did touched on something in our part one,
Yeah.
where you talked about human capital development.
Yeah.
If I tell you something, it's not really about just installing these CCTV cameras, but
Mm.
about the attitude of the people towards this CCTV camera.
Yeah.
The effectiveness, as in the workability of this plan. You might have CCTV cameras everywhere. Is it not the railway line that people went and started vandalizing the rail tracks the other time? It's something that benefits the people, but people go there, community people go there and vandalize it. How are you so sure that this CCTV, knowing fully well that yes, it's out to create some level of sanity, to prohibit crimes, and all that kind of stuff? How would you be sure that the following day after installation, people will not go down and start make a trade out of it, start vandalizing or even ripping it off to sell?
This question.
So it's a big problem. How do you hope to tackle this?
See, you see, there's what you call consequence management.
Okay,
Proper evaluation to see efficiency and efficacy of a system.
okay,
That is the duty of leadership. When leadership is not there to make sure that these things are working, then you will see failures. And so when people are trained, when people are mandated to deliver on a job and there are mechanisms to evaluate performance and effectiveness, it will work. And mind you, in this country, it's only the public sector that is usually very challenged. The private sector is effective. When private sector they put things into place, they ensure the efficacy and the effectiveness of such. And that's why you see private sector education has driven creativity and excellence. Private sector financial management has also provided efficiency and creativity, innovation and the likes. The failure of the political of our system in the public sector is the weak political class that we have. We have allowed mediocrity to eat deep into the political system in this country, and that's why we're having this huge setback. So if this country must grow, as I used to say, the socio-economic transformation of any nation is directly proportionate to the quality of our political leadership. Not until we have the people with the right educational qualification, character and background to ascend political leadership in this country, we'll still be foot dragging everywhere.
Okay.
And the challenging thing about it is that the world is moving at a very fast pace. Nigeria cannot afford to remain creative.
That's true. Comrade Amioku, how would you tackle the problem of insecurity? That's like Boko Haram and this herdsmen issue if you become the president of the country.
These are simple things to manage. You see, one thing we must be able to also get clearly, there are genuine herdsmen. You see, Nigeria tribes, we enjoy eating the product of
The
like
Fulanis.
the Fulanis. Yeah. So we shouldn't misconstrue, we shouldn't misplace these things. Creating a better environment for cattle breeding and all forms of herding activities is the first step to go. That is clear. And so creating the right environment for that and providing community-based security will definitely take care of all criminal activities associated with even these herdsmen activities as it were. For Boko Haram and even some of these herdsmen activities we are talking about, is still the poor social development systems we have. Because if we have an educational system that imbues values, you will take out the army that is used to perpetrate all these acts of banditry, violence, and so on and so forth. And beyond that, the military in this country must be patriotic enough to protect the national integrity of Nigeria. And in doing that, They must deploy a new security architecture to monitor our borders. For crying out loud, there are a million and one ways to monitor our territorial boundaries to ensure that terrorists or patriotic elements do not find their way into this country. So I leave the challenge to the political class and the military or the armed forces to see it as a national pride and a national responsibility to secure the territorial integrity of this country. And of course, they should form up a new security architecture to flush out boundaries from this country.
Okay, finally, Comrade Benjamin Amioku, we want to get your advice to our viewer out there in the light of 2023. Want to get your advice for them, concerning 2023, what you expect of them, and what you think people should begin to do.
Now, I will say this categorically without missing words. The next president of this country is Dr. Peter Obi,
Why did you say so?
because he clearly has what it takes to transform this country within the next 4 to 8 years that he will be privileged to be the president of the Federal
Does
Republic
just
of Nigeria.
saying it doesn't make him a
Now,
president?
no.
Okay.
But the onus also lies on our generation to ensure that we come out and form the critical mass that will make him win the elections come 2023. And it's simple, like as I said, the elite tribe, which is devoid of ethnicity, which is devoid of religion or regional attachment, is enough. We have the critical mass to win an election for a candidate that we believe can transform Nigeria. And so the more than 50 million tertiary graduates in this country who have been victim of poor political leadership have what it takes if all we all come out with our PVCs to make him the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, period.
Thank you very much. It has been an amazing and fantastic time out with Marcus Ikure here, and with me on set. We've been talking on these various and interrogating these issues, surrounding our country today, has been Comrade Benjamin Amioku. So we'll draw the curtain here. But if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly subscribe to the channel and encourage your friends to do so and keep following us. Then till we meet in our next edition, keep flying, for nothing can stop you. Still your friend, Marcus Ikure. This is saying goodbye for now.